Susan, Bill, and The Forgotten Promise, performed by the Red River Theatre Company and based on the characters created by Malcolm Saville.
When I was little, I became very ill and almost died. The place I lived was dirty and smoky and the house was damp. My parents hated it. But one day, we moved away from the city and onto a new estate. The One Tree Estate. The houses were new, and they all had different coloured doors. It was lovely. But what was best was that we were close to the country. There were woods and fields, and my gran lived with us at first. Oh, she was old and grumpy and hated the move. She hated change. She died soon after. And although I hate to say it, we all felt as if we'd been granted our freedom at last. I was 9 when we moved, and I thought the world was wonderful and that the people who lived in it were wonderful too. Every day was a miracle and every hour was a chance to marvel. On my very first day at One Tree, I met my best friend, Bill Starbright. He lived next door and had a head of hair like a blazing bonfire. He was older than me, and younger. Oh, his life was a total fantasy. One day he was a pirate, the next a detective. He liked being a cowboy best of all, or maybe a knight or Robin Hood. He was funny, and I thought he was the most wonderful person in the world. Life was never dull with Bill. Oh, we had lots of adventures together. Real adventures. I met a wolf called Rex. We found a boy that had vanished, stopped a horrid woman stealing antiques from a farm, discovered a first edition of Alice in Wonderland, sailed to uncharted islands, saved a circus dog, and became pirates. They were the best days of our lives. I look back now and my heart aches at the loss of it all. The kindness of strangers, the gentleness of life, the joy, gone, never to return. I did realise as I lived through it all how special it all was, how lucky that I was, but I thought it would last forever. I was wrong. Bill and I made a promise to each other. We had just been on holiday with some friends at the seaside. I can't quite remember where. And it had been so wonderful. We couldn't bear the thought of just going home and leaving it all behind. So, we promised to stay friends forever, to always be near each other. We pictured a life reaching ahead and into old age. In my little girl's imagination, I even pictured us being married. Me in my kitchen, welcoming Bill home each night from his work in the factory or office or wherever. Stupid. Oh, stupid. When Bill went to the big school, I had 2 years left to run at my primary. Then when we met on the estate, he was always with other boys, bigger boys. Often he would ignore me or pretend he didn't know me. Sometimes I would shout, "Hey Bill, what are you today?" And he would scowl. And his friends would laugh and tease him and ask if I was his girlfriend, but in the evenings, when no one was about, he would still come round. And we'd go over to the Colonel's Woods where we first met and play. Play. That word itself seems like a curse. Big boys don't play. Well, they hang around. They loiter. They mess about, but they don't play. One day in the wood, we had been pretending we were Indians hunting buffalo. He suddenly stood up and shouted, "This is so stupid! I can't do this anymore. It's for babies." and with a curt, "Sorry, Sue," he turned and walked away. I still saw him. His parents and mine were great friends, and they dragged Bill round the house from time to time, but he always looked as if he hated being there. So, we stopped being friends. Just like that. Our promise seemed a dream. A silly dream, and very soon he forgot it. Although at the time, I was sure that I never would. I went to the big school and made my own friends. I grew up. I stopped visiting the woods and spent more and more time in town with the other girls. I started to wear makeup, much to my dad's horror and my mum's disappointment. I dated. Nothing serious, well, not until I met John. I'd known John for years. We'd met on holiday and I'd spent time with his family on a farm. He always seemed older than Bill. He laughed at us both, but in a nice way. One day I got a message from him saying he was in town buying some new equipment for the farm and would like to see me again, for old time's sake. He invited Bill too, but Bill had not replied. So it was me and him in a cafe in town. I had a bun and coffee. He had lemonade. And something clicked. Oh, we dated for years. Bill saw me in the garden once and made some stupid comment about it. He said some hurtful things. So I said some things back. I wish I'd just kept quiet, but we never spoke again. I might have married John. I think he was going to ask me, but one day last summer I had a call from his mum saying that he'd been killed in a tractor accident. I went down straight away and she was so upset. It was as if all the light had just bled out of her. This woman that I adored and loved like my own mother had just become a shell of a human being. John's dad never said a word to me all the time I was there, except when I left. He just hugged me and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, lass." I don't live in One Tree anymore. I left school and went to the college in Nottingham. I trained as a nurse and live in a village 3 miles away from the city. It's quiet. I live with Mum, and she has a cat, but the house is still empty. I feel like I have lost so much. Looking back, if I'd have known that life would never get better than it was, would I have done things differently? Why do we start with joy and each passing year sees it erode away till in the end we're adults with nothing but our memories and our forgotten promises?
Hi there. Bill Starbright's the name. Odd name. Made up kind of name, really. But I like it. Suits me. It's a hopeful kind of name. I used to be a hopeful kind of guy. I was an only child. Mum and Dad were great. Still are. They gave me space to be wherever I wanted to be when I was growing up. So one day I'd be a spaceman, the next a cowboy. I lived the life of a character from the comics and loved every minute. It didn't mean that I was cut off from reality. I knew what the real world was like. I had come across it. In the town where I lived, there were thieves and cheats, bullies and snobs. Meeting them made me realise that my little make-believe world was better. Safer. I had lots of friends. My best friend was Peter. He thought I was amazing and he would do anything I told him. He was like a second lieutenant in my gang. Club. A kids' thing. A secret society with codes and passwords and badges. Pete was all right. He'd never let you down. He was tough too when he needed to be. Then there was his sister Pam. She were okay. Too nice for words, really. She's married now, has kids. She asked me to be godparent, but Nah, not me. Then there were Betty. She were a bit older and wiser than the rest of us, liked to boss everyone around. Really pretty. We dated for a while in secondary school, but it never worked out. We were just too alike. Not heard from her in years. Her little brother Jimmy was in the club too, but he was just a baby. Then there was Susan. She lived next door and I felt I had to take her under my wing. She was young and sickly and I felt sorry for her. She was alright though when we got on. Went on holiday together a few times. Had what she called adventures. Nothing really exciting. Just life happening around us. For Sue, paddling in an ice-cold stream was the most wonderful thing ever, or going to a circus. Kid stuff. But fun, all the same. There was this time when we got stranded on an island. Oh, it was a long time ago. Ancient history. Anyway, we grew apart when I went up to secondary school. She used to still want to hang around, but she was just a kid and it looked bad with my mates. I guess I was cruel, but she got over it. We lived next door, but we might as well have been worlds apart. Whenever I saw her over the fence, she would look at me and her face would light up. But I'd turn away or say something stupid and it would crumple. Boys, eh? I didn't do so well at school. I messed about too much. Never found me focus. Failed most of my exams. So I joined the army. It was like a childhood dream come true. I just thought I'd be running around playing at it. I never thought I'd have to shoot someone or be shot at. What an idiot I was. Yet, it was in those times, breathless and leaning back against a bullet pock-bitter wall, waiting for the word to move, that I thought of her. A ready smile, her kind hands, her courage. Once, when I'd been running and fallen, this great dog came galloping towards me, foam flying from its gums. I couldn't move. But Susan came and stood between us and talked the dog down. Bravest thing I ever saw. And I've seen some brave things. It was instinct. She had that natural instinct that reached out and protected people. So there I'd be, terrified and sweating, and in my mind were thoughts of home and a 9-year-old girl who was my friend. My best friend. And she'd inspire me to be the same. That's how I got this medal. I had a mate, Tom. We'd trained together, been posted together, roomed together and become like brothers. Well, we'd been on patrol. Routine. Nothing ever happened. The hills were just cutouts in the sun, empty of threat. And along this road comes an old guy with a donkey. Well, my mate Tommy's a sucker for animals, and he goes towards them and flings his gun round his back. The idiot. When he was 10 yards away, this old guy reaches into his donkey's pack and pulls out a pistol. He starts firing. I go crazy. Tom falls and I'm running and shooting and getting shot, and then the others arrive. Tom's okay. 2 bullets to the chest, but missed the heart. I have shots to my legs, but nothing to worry about. The old guy was a lousy shot. And now he were dead. He was the first person. So did my dad, maybe. All Tom could say was, had I missed the donkey? I hadn't. I was out of action for 6 weeks, but then he were back on patrol. Tom was sent home. He writes, but I'm not much of a writer. Don't do emails, texts, nothing. If you want to touch base, call me. Maybe it's the dyslexia, but I've no time for words. 6 months later, it were my turn. Roadside bomb. Killers in waiting. I was lucky. I was walking along and messing about with stones, bowling them against tree stumps. Oh, I miss cricket. My dad loves it. Played for the estate. We have a good team. I would have found a member, really. Dad laid the first pitch. Anyway, I just bowled an absolute corker and it bounces like a rubber ball, and when it fell it must have triggered the device. I was 10 yards away and the earth spews up stone and dirt and wind and I'm blown off my feet and there's fire and flames and my face. My face. I lived. Lost the use of an arm. No more bowling for me. And then these burns. A face to match my hair, I guess. I'm being sent home. I'll need grafts and hair. Can't imagine it'll work. I'll look like Action Man. All shiny and smooth and plastic. Mum will cry when she sees me. But I bet she won't look me in the eye. No one does now. I'm being sent to a nursing station somewhere in Leicestershire. Leicestershire. A county with nothing to offer. I guess it's hidden away. I'll be out of the public eye. Well, good. I'm in no mood for being sociable. What's the point when you look like this? When your very presence offends and horrifies. Maybe it would have been better for everyone if I'd have died in that blast. I would have had a funeral with full military honours. I wondered if Susan would have come.
Do you like it here, Susan? I mean, it's been, 6 months? Time enough to get a feel of the place. It's just that, well, I'm not complaining about your work. Everyone thinks you're wonderful. The other staff, the patients, they love you. It's just, you never seem happy. I've watched you. You're all smiles and jokes with the patients on the ward, but the minute you leave, a cloud passes over your face, and it's like the sun has gone away, and, well, you look desolate.
Oh, I never realised. I love it here, I really do, but... Well, there are days when... I've lost so much. It's like life has waged its own private war on me and taken from me so many. John, my dad, even Bill. I know it's what happens to everyone, but we all have to lose people. Maybe I'm just not strong enough. Mum always says I need thicker skin.
I understand. So why work here where the loss is so great, so all-encompassing?
I think I wanted to bring hope. Well, because that's all there is sometimes. Hope that there's a reason behind all the suffering. Hope that things can get better. Hope that maybe there's more to life than this. Hope that no matter what we've been through, we still matter.
You're beginning to sound like a chaplain. But maybe that's not a bad thing. I just wanted to check you're okay. I wouldn't want to lose you. None of us would.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Honest.
Okay, well, you know where I am if you should ever need to talk.
Yeah, thanks. Now I'd better be getting on.
Of course, and I have some new patients to see. Induction.
So, this is Leicestershire. It's flat. It's green, which is a bonus. Plenty of trees. I used to love trees. Climbing, hardening them. There was a tree once. An ivy-clad oak. We had a club. Betty and Pete and me and Susan. The ivy-clad oak. In fact, there's a tree just over there, on the edge of the field. Looks just like...
Ah, Starbright, isn't it? Good to see you. You'll like it here. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art facilities, excellent care, and the attention of top-class surgeons. We'll have you good as new.
Is that right? You reckon you can do something about all this?
Well, the arm, we'll see. Don't give up hope. We have made incredible advances. As for the burns, I have every confidence. Every confidence.
Nice of you to say so, but forgive me for being sceptical. I've seen men like me after the treatment. Not a pretty sight.
I know. But we will do our very best. This is a healing place. It's not just the body we care for. The grounds, they are very special. They evoke memories, healing memories. And you're here at such a lovely time of the year. Perhaps I can get one of the nurses to take you round.
I can walk fine, Doc, if I'm allowed.
Well, yes, but at first at least allow a nurse to accompany you, to show you around. We have many footpaths, there's a pond, we even have a folly in the grounds, and a castle ruin. Very evocative. Romantic.
I'm done with romance in every sense of the word. But I'd like a look all the same.
Very well. I'll send someone to take you. Believe me, you will soon begin to feel at home.
We'll see. We'll see.
Hi, my name's Susan, and the doctor's just sent me along to show you the grounds. Oh, I'm so sorry, but he didn't give me your name.
It's Starbright. Bill. I knew a Susan once. A long time ago.
Bill?
This is stupid. I am perfectly capable of walking, you know. It's my arm that's shot, not my legs.
I know, but it's the rules. Induction. Look, once I've given you the tour, then the world is your oyster, as they used to say.
Yeah, well, I'll still say it's stupid. So, how are things? I mean, I haven't heard from you and none of the family seem to know.
Oh, you asked the family about me?
Well, yeah. But I mean, what else is there to talk about? When I go home, I can't talk about the war, about the killing, the danger. It would... well... So, I talk about the past. We remember holidays, cricket matches, visitors, old friends. You know. It's easier. The past is safe and kind of comforting.
The far past. When we were kids on the One Tree Estate, but not the recent past. There needs to be some distance between then and now before I talk about things.
I heard about John. I'm sorry.
And that's one of the paths that I can't take yet, so I don't talk about him. Not as a man, not as a child. I'm sorry if that's brutal, but...
I get it. I do. So, do you like it here?
I love it. I love the staff, the patients. I love that we make a difference, that sometimes we get to save people.
Nice. This folly. It reminds you of anything?
Of course. It's identical to the one at Chertfield. Identical.
Yeah, where we found David.
Where we found John. Let's not say anything more, please, Bill. Do you ever hear from the others?
Peter, we're in touch. We meet up when I'm home, have a few beers.
What do you talk about?
The usual. Football, politics, the past. Peter still remembers hitting that bloke from the circus with his cabbage or cauliflower, whatever it was. Remember?
Yes. Peter's finest hour, and he didn't have many. He was very loyal, but he never liked me.
Never liked girls much at all. He hasn't changed. So, what other secrets do the grounds hold?
There's a lake and a punt and an island with trees and birds. It's really beautiful.
And we can explore the island. Take the punt out and...
You sound just like the old Bill.
Do I? I thought he was long gone.
Go on. Do that thing you always used to do when you were excited. You talk out the side of your mouth like a gangster in those films that you watched. You'd call me sister.
That was stupid. That was so... I just refused to grow up.
Like Peter Pan.
I guess. I like the pretend world of Robin Hood or pirates. You see, no one ever got hurt.
And you've seen.
You just wouldn't believe. The things I've... If the public knew...
I see them too. Here. They come. The hurt and the lost, and we try to make things better.
You might mend the body. but you could never make things better. Not now. It's all too late. Damage has been done.
I'm sorry, Bill. Look, here's the lake. Oh, the island's not very big, though. I know some of our patients have camped out there before now. They spent a few days in isolation, did a bit of fishing, read. Some of them wrote poetry. Modern-day Wilfred Owens. Perhaps we could...
Yeah, well, maybe. Look, Susan. The doc said once you'd showed me around, I didn't need you to wheel me in this thing. I could walk on my own. So, you've shown me around. I've memorised the terrain and I'm good to go. So nice seeing you again after all this time. See you around.
And how was Starbright?
Burnt out. I knew him when I was little. We were neighbours, but... It's like he's a stranger now.
It's war. His childhood is buried beneath shells and bullets, beneath blood and bone. He may not want to sift through the wreckage of his recent past to access it again. But give him time. He'll be here sometime. Those scars.
You know, Doctor, I don't think I even noticed them.
So how long you been here?
3 months.
3 months? What? How come so long?
There was a lot to do. New legs. These aren't real, you know. Amazing things. I can walk again. In fact, I can run faster than I ever did before. Amazing.
Right, that's good. And your family? Do they come and see you? Do you have a girlfriend or anything?
I have a wife and 2 kids. Twins. They were born while I was away. There was a moment when I thought I'd never get to... Well, you know. But thanks to these guys, I'm a dad. A proper dad. What about you, Bill?
You know, no time for anything, anyone. Mum and Dad, of course. But never was any good at relationships. Easier not to try. I'm happy enough.
Huh. I've seen you with that nurse. Susan? She's everyone's favourite. We've been taking bets as to which of us she'll...
She's not like that.
I didn't mean anything. It's just... Well, she's single, mate. It don't make sense. Someone like her, someone that nice, you'd have thought she'd be settled by now.
She were virtually engaged to a farmer. He died. She's never got over him. I knew him. We were a friend once. Decent. I knew her too. We were neighbours. I was 11 and she were 9 and...
Come on. You're kidding, right? Neighbours? Well, all I can say is it can't be no coincidence you coming here and finding her again after all this time. There's a purpose to it.
You religious?
Nah.
Well, you sound it. She is. Christian. Says her prayers every night like a good little girl.
She ever pray for you?
If she did, you'd have to ask her yourself.
Look, she's coming over. I'll make tracks. Gina, my wife, is coming in this afternoon. We're seeing the doc together about discharge and all that needs to be in place. Big day.
Right. Good luck.
Hi, Bill. Not seen you for a few days. The scar's looking better already. How do you feel?
Okay, I guess. I told Mum and Dad you were here. They said they'd love to come and see you. I said that would be okay. It would be okay, wouldn't it?
Well, of course. Why wouldn't it? I'd love to see them again. Does your mum still talk a lot?
Like an express train. He always likes you, you know.
Well, I know. They were kind. All they did for Frankie, I never forgot that. I wonder what became of him.
He stayed in touch with Mum and Dad. He's a writer. Crime, detectives, that kind of thing. Never read one. But he sends them a copy whenever he's got a new one out. Dad likes them. We have a shelf of them. Pride of place in the lounge. I swear, Mum is as proud of him as if he were their own son.
Nice boy. Do you remember that Christmas in the hospital?
No more nostalgia, Susan. I can't stand it. It hurts, you know. There's an ache.
Okay. But before you leave here, I am determined to make you remember at least one of our adventures. Just one.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Perhaps we could row over to the island on the Saucy Kate.
The Saucy Kate?
I named the punt after her. Oh, I love those holidays with Colin and Brenda at the seaside. I went back to Sandy Bay last year for my holiday. God, it had changed so much. But the beach was the same, and the church and the tower where...
Susan, stop it. Enough. The past is the past. It's no use trying to relive it. We can't claw it back.
More's the pity, Bill. More's the pity. I thought I was doing the food.
No, I said leave it to me.
Well, you did say that, I admit, but in the past, when you said leave it to me, it generally meant you'd forget or just bring something inappropriate, like a big bag of sweets and one bottle of fizzy pop.
You never complained.
No, but I did plan, like today.
2 picnics. That's my kind of treat. Hope you brought cake. I got the pork pies and sausage rolls and...
Salad?
Salad? You are joking. Salad. Not real food. We never had salad when we were young.
Ah, you said when we were young. Been looking back.
Been doing a lot of thinking. This place does that to you. Been looking back and, well, they were good days. Happy times.
They were. I thought it was the most wonderful time of my life. My heart was forever full of excitement, joy and...
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but what was your favourite adventure? The one where you met John, I bet.
No. I think I said the time at Sandy Bay, where we first met Colin and Brenda and were marooned on the island. That time it all felt a bit more grown up, I guess. What about you?
I like them all. But like you, the one that seemed most real was when we went to Scarborough and there was the rescue and the cliff and...
Scarborough? I'd forgotten that one. How could I have forgotten? Oh, remind me, Bill. Tell me the story and I'll sit here and go back and see it all again and remember.
Well, OK. It all started when you got that message from John that he were visiting some relative in Scarborough and wondered if we'd like to go up and share the caravan.
Yes, the caravan, I remember that. Oh, it was old and falling to bits, but we loved it.
I love the caravan, John. It makes me feel like I'm a gypsy queen. Thank you so much for inviting us.
It makes me feel like a pioneer of the Old West. And any moment now we're going to get overrun by Red Indians and we'll have to fight for our lives.
I think the only thing we're likely to be overrun with are midges. It's warm, but just look at that view. Over there to the west, that's the castle. We can go there one day. It's amazing. And that church just below, that's St Mary's. There's a famous author buried in the churchyard called Anne Bronte.
Never heard of her. I bet she wrote girls' books.
I wouldn't know. Never read any. My aunt hasn't and thinks they're very good. Probably written in old-fashioned language.
I've heard of Emily Bronte. And Charlotte Bronte. Is she related?
Sister, I expect. Well, what shall we do today? We can go down the hill and into town. They've got a great museum with skeletons and fossils. It's all in this amazing round building. We could go to sea and fish off Harbour Quay. We could go beach and have donkey ride, or even sail on a pirate ship. There is so much to do.
Well, I, for one, vote for the pirate ship. I can see it from here. A proper Spanish galleon with cannons and such. But I'd have to get a sword and an eye patch. I'd hate to have to board her and not be properly dressed.
I'm sure they sell that sort of thing on foreshore. So, pirate ship it is, and after, if we have time, we can go down to beach and look for crabs and shells. If we're really lucky, we might even see a seal or a porpoise.
Sea monsters? That sounds grand. Pity I left my harpoon at home. I told Mum I might need it, but she told me I was being silly. So, serve her right if we end up in some giant sea creature's belly, all for the lack of a harpoon.
I'd like to walk down those paths. See them, John, like lines on a map all zigzagging down the cliff. They look really interesting. And see, they go down some gardens through statues and things. Let's do that one day this week. If we can.
Walking? Gardens? Where's your sense of adventure? Look, John, is there anything you want to do?
Well, there's an art gallery. I've been before and it is pretty amazing. But truth is, I like everything. Well, except shopping.
What about cafes? Are there any good places to buy cakes and ices and things?
And postcards for home, and little presents.
Yeah, lots of places. Look, let's head down to boat and see what we find on the way.
Great, let's go.
Oh, look, Clarissa. The gypsies have arrived, I see.
Oh gosh, Pauline, yes. I say, don't they look poor? Seeing them there has quite spoilt my day.
I quite agree. Well, at least they won't spoil the afternoon. They don't look as though they could afford the pirate ship.
Excuse me, but we can hear every word you're saying, and we can definitely afford the pirate ship. We're not poor, and we're not gypsies. We're just ordinary kids like you on holiday.
Like us.
You're nothing like us. I mean, look at your van. Ours is the green one, just on the hill. It sleeps 7. We have a lounge and a shower, as well as a room of our own. It's a luxury van.
We love our van. I'm Susan, by the way. This is Bill, and we're staying with our friend John, who's a farmer.
Ah, that explains it.
Explains what?
The
smell.
Ignore 'em. My aunt warned me about them. They're the same with everyone. Not worth a second thought. Now let's go, or we'll miss the tide.
Oh, I feel so sick. Oh, this is the worst day of my life.
Just look at the birds. What are they, John?
Gannets. Aren't they incredible? Watch how they twist and turn and dive into the sea.
Oh, I feel
Like
so
missiles.
sick.
I think they might be one of my favourites. Those and guillemots. Look, that's one there, just bobbing about on the waves. Dressed like a gentleman.
I thought it was a penguin.
Don't be silly, Bill. Penguins come from cold places.
It could have escaped from the zoo. And besides, they have penguins in Argentina, and that's hot.
That's right, but it's not a penguin, it's a guillemot. Such a lovely bird. Enjoying the ride, girls?
Oh, don't you talk to us, you freaks. How can you just stand there as if the world wasn't going to end? I can't stand the movement of the boat. I can't seem to get a grip on the horizon.
It just keeps bobbing about. Why won't it keep still? It makes me feel so...
Poor things. I do feel sorry for them. I know just what it's like to be seasick. It's horrid.
Serves them right. They'll think twice before they go out in a boat again.
Look, we're turning round. And gosh, see there, a fin.
Sharks. Let's make Pauline and Clarissa walk the plank and feed them to the denizens of the deep.
No, I don't think so, Bill.
It was just a thought. We are being pirates after all.
Pirates or not, those fins belong to harbour porpoises. Quite harmless, friendly even. Look, they're following us.
They want to play.
Did I hear you say... shark?
That's right. Look, can you see the fin? They're following us in.
Are you serious? Clarissa, you never said there'd be sharks.
Oh, ignore Bill. They're not sharks, just porpoises. A bit like dolphins, only smaller. Bill was teasing you. He was paying you back for being so unkind earlier.
Well, we shan't forget it. Don't think you can get one over on us. You'll see. We won't have you ruin another hour of our holidays. Oh, look, we're nearly back. Wait till we tell Mummy and Daddy you've been teasing us. They'll speak to your parents. Just wait and see.
And we'll tell them what you said about us.
They won't believe you. Mummy and Daddy would never believe a boy like you. Just one look at you would tell them you're not to be trusted. We'll have you thrown off the site.
Ignore 'em, Bill. They can't do that. Look, we're nearly back. Let's go to Harbour Bar. That's where the best ice creams are sold. And they do a wonderful hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate and ice cream. What are you thinking of?
I'm thinking I'm on holiday. And we can do and eat just what we like. Come on, let's get to the front of the queue and be ashore before those two pests. Hey, you two ought to take a look at this.
If it's more birds, no thanks. I've seen enough today to last me a lifetime.
What is it, John?
It's the cliff. It seems to be moving. I think there's going to be a landslide.
What? Like an earthquake?
Well, yes. Come on and look. Just there in front of that hotel. I really think they're about to lose part of their gardens. And there, all along the edge, there's like a great big crack in the ground. Oh my goodness, it is so dangerous.
Shouldn't we tell someone?
They'll know. I heard some of the adults saying that the path was dangerous and that this kind of thing happens often. But I didn't imagine it like this.
So, it won't be safe to go to the gardens tomorrow? I was really looking forward to that.
That's further inland. Should be okay.
No. It'll be perilous. We'll need to take ropes and things like intrepid mountaineers.
Do you think so? Oh, I do hope no one was on the cliff when it fell. That would be awful.
Well, I think we need to go in. I can smell the bacon. It's a full English breakfast for tea.
Kiddo. I love breakfast at tea time, and your family are amazing cooks, and I'm starving. Last one to the van just washing up. I'm being Mercury. He's a super fast messenger of the gods, you know. And he has a cool helmet, just like that comic book, The Flash.
If you say so. Aren't the flowers lovely? And the smell.
Can't say I noticed. They're alright, I guess. It's quite a good place, this. Lots of holes to hide in. Let's play hide and seek.
Aren't we getting a bit old to hide and seek?
You might be, but I'll never be too old. Knowing a good place to hide might save your life one day. You never know.
Oh, alright then. Susan and I will hide and you can look. Count to 100.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Now's our chance to pay him back. Quick,
6,
put the sack over his head and I'll tie him.
7.
This'll teach him.
What are you doing? Get off! Hey, what do you think you're doing? Oh, I better know who this is. I bet you those horrors, Pauline and Clarissa. Well, don't think I can't get out of here, and when I do...
Pauline and Clarissa, don't know who you mean. We're just locals who can't stand tourists.
Yeah, we don't want you here. We don't need you here. So go back to your dirty city and stay there.
Or else something worse will happen to you.
Much worse.
Now, lift his legs and we'll stuff him behind this bench.
Gosh, he weighs a ton. He must eat really badly.
I can hear you, you know, and you're not fooling me.
Shut up, you, or I'll give you a kick.
Give him a kick anyway. It serves him right.
Ow!
Right, that's him sorted. I just fancy an ice from the Clock Cafe. Come on.
It's not like Bill to take so long.
I know. And it's his game. Something must have happened. Perhaps he's fallen ill or something. Bill? Bill?
Bill, stop playing. We're getting frightened. Where are you? Did you hear that?
Yes. It came from over there by that bench. Who did this to you?
Who do you think? It was those girls. I'm sure it was. They tried to disguise their voices, but I could tell.
Are you sure?
Positive. Look, I heard them saying they were going to the Clock Cafe. Let's go and confront them.
But we're not sure.
I'm sure enough. Closed? But it was a blind. They tricked me. Oh, you know what this means?
What?
This means war.
Oh, look, Pauline. It's those children from camp. I say, they look rather angry.
I think they always look like that. They must come from very unhappy homes to look like that. Perhaps their parents don't love them.
That must be it.
You.
No, Bill, don't. No.
Very unhappy. See how they fight. Come, twin. Let's go before they turn on us.
Bill, what were you thinking of?
It's alright, Susan. Bill didn't mean it. They just pushed him too far.
But you didn't react like that.
No. We're just different. It's not a problem. Honest.
Thanks, John. I know you'd understand. And I can't expect a girl to know what it feels like to be ragged like that. I want to go off on my own. See you later.
Let's look at the landslide while we're here. I've never seen one before.
Okay, but we need to be careful. We can't get too close.
I know. Will Bill be alright?
He'll be fine. But those girls, they are really ruining things for us at the moment. We can't seem to get away from them.
The landslip was really dangerous. You could see bits of the ground still shifting, and all on the beach there were rocks and things.
Ah, here you are. We just thought we'd let you know we've been given permission to take our little boat out for a midnight cruise to watch the sunset at sea. It's supposed to be spectacular. We would invite you along, but our little boat only has room for 2.
You should be able to see us from here. We're taking some food with us for a midnight feast.
I thought you didn't like boats.
Not big boats. Not big boats on rough seas. But ours is a lovely thing. And look, the sea is as calm as anything. Looks just like a mirror.
So sorry not to have you with us. So glad, actually. You'd just spoil things.
Why are you so horrid to us? We've done you no harm. We could have been friends and had a lovely time together.
Friends? I don't think so. Let's face it, we're just different.
Better. And the sooner you realise that, the happier we will all be.
I don't understand those two at all. Bill, you've not said a word.
I don't want to think about them. I hope their boat sinks and they drown.
Don't say that, Bill. It's an horrid thing to say.
It is, isn't it? But that's how they make me feel.
They get to me too, but I wouldn't want them to drown. That'd be awful. Let's go down to beach and watch sunset from there. We'll take rope and maybe do a bit of scrambling on rocks at the bottom.
Oh, it's so beautiful. This might just be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. In fact, this moment right now just might be the most wonderful moment in my whole life. The sea, the sun setting, my friends, those birds,
Gannets.
gannets plunging into the waves, the sound, it's so perfect. I wish this moment would last forever.
She always talks like this. She always wants to hold on to every minute. Time passes, but she won't let go.
That's what I like about Sue. She sees life as something wonderful. She loves it all. It's rather sweet.
Oh, look. It's the twins. Wait. They're in a rowing boat. They made it out like they had a grand yacht or something. That's just a little dinghy. It was all just swank.
They can't row, that's for sure. They're all over the place. And look, the landslide. It's pushed the rocks right out to sea. They can't see 'em. If they're not careful, they'll hit 'em. Oh, they idiots. Fancy going out like this. I bet their parents didn't give 'em permission. I bet they were just showing off.
Shout to them, John. You too, Bill.
Watch out for the rocks.
Watch out for the rocks.
You'll hit them.
Oh, it's you! Go away, you little sneaks. Stop spying on us.
Yeah, buzz off and leave us in peace.
They've hit a rock. Oh, John, the boat's turning over.
Quick, John. Tie the rope around my middle. I'm going in. I'm the best swimmer here. I'll go and fetch them. No arguments. If you wait, they'll drown.
But
They'll drown.
Come on, Bill. Come on. That's it. Come on.
I'm coming.
Pull, Susan. Come on, you can do it. Come on.
Oh, what will Mummy and Daddy say?
We took the boat without permission. Daddy uses it for fishing.
And I'm soaking. I'm freezing. I'll catch my death.
John, we need to get them home as quickly as we can. Can you take them back now and explain to their parents? You're so much better at this than either of us.
Okay. Will you be okay? I don't like the look of that cliff. Still looks a bit
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Can we go now, please? I just want to get home and have a wash and... Oh,
What is it, Pauline?
Bill, I just want to say thank you. You saved our lives and...
We're really sorry for the way we treated you. We see now that we've been totally unfair.
Yes, and we're sorry for what we did in the gardens.
It's okay. We're friends now?
Yes, we can be friends now. Only please can we go?
Come on. It's a bit of a climb, but it'll warm you up.
Are you okay, Bill? Your teeth are chattering. You must be so cold.
I'm okay. Just a bit shaky. Here, take this rope and roll it up proper.
We need to go. You're shaking. Let's take the steep path by the landslide. It'll be quicker.
I'm not sure it's safe.
It should be okay.
Well, let me go first, to keep an eye on things. Susan, we need to hurry. I think the ground's moving again.
I know, I can feel it shaking. We're nearly at the top. I can see the streetlights.
Good. Look, Susan, just grab hold of the rope, will ya? Let's pretend we're mountaineers conquering Everest. I'll feel safer if we have a rope. Susan!
Bill, I'm alright. The path is gone, but I'm alright. The rope.
I have it. I won't let go, Susan, I promise. I won't let you go.
I'm frightened, Bill.
I know. And so am I, but just hold on. I'm going to start pulling. Good job you're such a little thing and don't weigh much.
Hurry, please, Bill. I can feel the rope slipping.
Nearly there.
Oh, Bill. You saved me.
It was nothing, sister. Just another day in the life of a rescue volunteer.
Oh, Bill, you idiot. Bill, I think this is the moment. This is when I know for certain that you are the best friend I could ever have. You will never let me down. I'll not forget this, Bill Starbright. I'll never forget you. The best friend in the whole world. That's a promise. Let's promise to be friends forever.
Do we have to? Can't we just carry on without making promises?
A promise makes it real. Go on, Bill. Promise.
Okay. I promise. Friends forever. Woohoo. Now, can we please go? I'm still wet and still cold. And don't say anything about this to anyone. We don't want people to worry.
Okay, Bill. But I won't forget what you did. I won't.
But I did forget. How did I forget that?
Well, Doc, you've proved me wrong. My face, well, it's not like new, but it's not like I feared. It's still me, not some plastic monster. And the arm?
I shouldn't say I told you so, but I told you so. So tomorrow you can go home. I've spoken to your parents, they'll be here at 12. I've also had a word with your commanding officer, and he'll visit you at home to talk about your return to active duty, assuming you still want to go back.
I'll go back. I mean, what else is there for people like me?
Well, I don't know. You could retrain. Who knows, you might meet someone and settle down. You might want to let your life take a new path.
I'm too old to be taking new paths, I think, Doc. I don't have the imagination to think any different.
It seems to me that imagination is the one thing that you are not lacking. Susan's been telling me what you were like as a boy.
Ah, but that was then and this
Is now, as they say. I heard you saved her life once. You never forget a thing like that, do you?
Perhaps. I have become a bit of an expert at forgetting. You have to be to survive in this job.
Right. So it's goodbye then, and good luck. I hope you take this the right way when I say I hope we never meet again.
Yeah, I understand. But you never know. Thanks, Doc, for everything.
I won't be here tomorrow when you go, so I thought I'd...
I'm glad you did.
Bill, it's been...
it's been.
I never thought I'd see you again. And yet here we are, as if nothing had changed.
And yet everything has changed. These past weeks, I'm sorry I took so long to come round, to look back, to remember. It was good when we did. I turned a corner then. I stopped thinking the worst. Started to think that maybe there was hope after all. I guess you saved my life.
Like you did mine, all those years ago.
Yeah, well, look, I'm sorry that I forgot, that we lost touch, that I broke my promise.
Me too.
It won't happen again.
No.
No.
What do you mean by that then, Bill?
Well, let's face it. We've proved something here, haven't we? We've proved that this thing we have, this friendship, is something special. Worth keeping. Worth cherishing. Well, I will. If you will. I mean, you do want to stay friends, don't you?
More than anything.
Good.
So, friends forever then?
Friends forever.
Promise?
Promise.
Good.
In Susan, Bill and the Forgotten Promise, Old Bill was played by Peter Smith, Old Susan by Chelsea Fawkes. The Doctor and Dan were both played by Joel Payton. Josh Darby played young Bill. Talina Al-Hijazi played young Susan. Luke Stevenson was John. Bronwyn Hunt played Pauline, and Lucy Clark was Clarissa. Editing was by Richard Smith. The play was created with the kind permission of the estate of Malcolm Saville and is copyright Red River Youth Theatre 2021.